DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. You know, when people reach success, and when they're on their way to success, people like to espouse how hard they work, right? They like to talk about, I've been putting in all this time. You know, I showed up early, I stayed late, I just worked harder than everybody else. Besides that, everybody's exactly the same, except I just outworked everybody. And I've said many times, I've said it on video, I said it on my podcast all the time, done whole episodes on this subject, that it takes more than hard work to be successful, because I think all of us can agree that there are times that we worked really hard on something and it just didn't work out. So what happened to hard work then? And there are people out there who work really hard on things and they might have chose the wrong thing, might have did it at the wrong time, they might be the wrong person, might be in the wrong place, may just have bad luck, and the shit just doesn't work. So just because somebody works hard doesn't mean you're going to be successful. So when someone reaches success and then they say it's because I worked hard, it doesn't add up. Like, nobody could do nothing with that. So when I hear a successful person talking about how hard they work, I'm like, that's all you got? Like, that's all you're gonna give people is that bullshit that you worked hard? And one of the things that you need if you're on your way to success, or you wanna get there, one of the things, a lot of things that you need besides just working hard. And I'm doing an event in June. It's gonna be a live event for free in Miami in June. If you don't follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is at Dre Baldwin. You'll get details when it's ready. I don't even have a date as of the moment I'm recording this, but it's definitely happening. I'm gonna talk about these other things that you need besides hard work. And this is the guy who says work on your game. There's other things you need. One of them is you gotta have vision. And the vision that I'm talking about here is being able to see something that other people can't see. And then being dumb enough, irrational enough, unreasonable enough, stupid enough to go after it anyway. Besides the fact in front of you that it doesn't make sense, saying, no, I know it don't make sense, but fuck it, I'm gonna go after it anyway. That's the kind of vision that I'm talking about. I'm not just saying having a goal or a dream or being inspired and your passion waking you up so you don't need an alarm clock or any of that rah-rah bullshit. All right, no shots at anybody who talks about that, but fuck that. Like, we need to, if you listen to me, you're gonna get the real conversation. I ain't gonna just give you the rah-rah or the hype up, I'm gonna give you the real. And for me, I'll use myself as an example. When I got out of college, some of y'all know my story. I went to a Division III school, didn't even play my senior year in college, and you can read my first book, Buy a Game, it's free. Or you can get it on Amazon or the audio book if you want to, Audible. And I didn't play my senior year, so you can get that whole story if you want to get the story. But I got home from college after graduation. My parents were like, what you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna play ball. My parents thought that was crazy. Like, how you gonna play ball? You ain't even play your last year in college. You was at a D3 school, so it ain't like you was that talented. They didn't say this, but this is what I'm saying. They was probably thinking, and they would have been right. Like, it's not like you was that talented. You was at a D3 school to begin with, and you weren't even on the team then. Like, you don't have any prospects. You ain't got an agent. You ain't got nobody reaching out. Nobody trying to help you out or nothing. You don't have any I ain't have no weeds or nothing, but I'm talking about I'm gonna play overseas basketball. Shit didn't make sense. And I knew, when I said it, I knew it didn't make sense. I knew it was unreasonable. I knew it was irrational. There was no logic to it whatsoever. And if you would have asked me back then, like, yo, all right, I understand that nobody else believes you can do it, but what's your plan to make it happen, Dre? I wouldn't have had an answer for you. I didn't have a plan. I had no plan, no prospects, no help. I ain't have shit. Only thing I had was a vision that I could do it. And for anybody, if you're gonna do something that is out of the ordinary, you want to achieve something that's outside of what most people think is possible or outside of what most people actually do with their lives, and do something that makes you stand out. Like, when you say it, people's like, oh, damn, you did that? You got to have a vision that people ain't got, and you got to be willing to stand on that vision. Meaning, when it gets challenged, or when the shit looks like this is a bad fucking idea and it's not working, you gotta be willing to stand on that vision and say, all right, you know what? I'm gonna double down on this shit. I'm gonna go even harder on this shit because of the fact that I can see it in my mind. I can see that this is gonna happen. And there's somebody, I think a lot of y'all know E.T., Eric Thomas. I did a video with E.T. back in like 2012. He was in Miami. We did a video real quick, weekly motivation. Just look it up, Dre Baldwin, Eric Thomas, you'll see the video. One of the things he said, and I always remember him saying it, was that no matter how rough a challenge gets, as long as you can see it in your mind still, that means it's still real. That means there's still a possibility for it. And that's really what having a vision is about. See, sight is what we can see with our physical eyes. Vision is what we can see with our minds. And for me, I wanted to play overseas. There was no, I mean, these days it's hard to get information on playing overseas, right? If you Google playing overseas, the person with the most information on the subject is me. So imagine what the fuck I was looking at in 2004 when I'm trying to play overseas. It was no information, like zero. It was like one website, a bunch of people on a message board, and most of them ain't know what the fuck they was talking about. Half of them was fronting, and the other half of them was talking shit. So there was no information, nothing. But I still had that vision in my mind that I'm gonna make this happen. And there was plenty of times when it looked like, okay, that's enough. It was fun while you tried it. Now it's time to get serious. Plenty of times someone could have said that to me and they would have been 100% correct. But I still kept going, and I still kept working on that vision. And the whole thing about vision, people, is it's not a real vision if everybody agrees with it. It's not a real vision if everyone you share with is like, oh, you know what, that makes sense. That's perfect. You know what, that's gonna work out. I'm glad you thought of that. I wonder why nobody else thought of that first. That's not a real vision. Now, that might be a great plan. It might be a great idea. You might be just a smart ass motherfucker who came up with some shit if people are saying that to you. But if the average person or most people are agreeing with everything you're saying and they're like, that's a great idea, that's definitely gonna work, I'm glad you thought of that, damn, somebody should have came up with that sooner, that ain't the kind of vision that I'm talking about. There's nothing wrong if you don't have this vision that I'm talking about, but this ain't for everybody. This right here is for the people who maybe you're feeling like nobody's believing in you, nobody agrees with you, nobody is kind of seeing the things the way that you see it. I make this video for those people. You think about Steve Jobs when he made Apple computers, and then he went and made the iPad or the iPod or the iPhone. All three of those. Maybe not so much the iPad, but the iPod and the iPhone. Do you think anybody was like, when he told them about that, anybody said, damn, that's a great idea. Let's do that. I wish somebody had come up with that first. No, people was like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about? You gonna put a whole bunch of songs in a little thing that fits in your pocket? What? Like, that's not gonna work. The music company is not going to let you do that. You know, all these companies that make the portable music things, you know they're going to get together to fight against you. They're not going to let you win. They're going to shut you down. You know they're not going to let this happen. You're going to kill their businesses this way. That's what people were saying to him. But he had enough vision, not sight, but enough vision in his mind. Like, yo, this is what the people need. That when I get this out to the people, they're going to demand it so much that all these companies, they ain't going to have no choice but to fall in line and do it. And then we got the iPod. Now the iPod is folded into, then he decided he gonna do a phone. Like, y'all understand, like the iPhone or smartphones in general seems like a great common idea these days, right? But imagine back then when he was coming up with that. Y'all know these phone companies like Sprint, Verizon, what's the other one? AT&T, T-Mobile. I know some of them merged or whatever, Boost Mobile, whoever was out back then. Like, these companies are billion-dollar conglomerates. You think they just gonna sit there and watch you come put a phone in the game and try to take away their business? Like, who doesn't have a smartphone these days? All those companies had their own phones, like not necessarily an AT&T phone. They had these companies they were contracted with who made phones. Like Nokia made phones, like BlueBerry had a phone. You remember the old phone before the smartphone, the phones that we had? All those companies made millions of dollars selling phones every year. Now Apple's just gonna come in and get in the game and we just gonna let you? Hell no, they wasn't gonna let Apple get in the game. And they fought to keep Apple out of the game. But Steve Jobs had a strong enough vision that even when they fought, even when it was tough, he kept going at it. And you could think of your story of anybody who just wasn't believed in. Nobody really thought like, yo, you gonna do that? Like, that don't even make sense, or you can't do it, or this is not the right time. I mean, there are plenty of examples. Kanye West, I mean, he did a whole track on his first album, the last song. It's called Last Call. He tells the story. Like, he was a producer. He left Chicago, came to New York. He got on with like Jay-Z and them. He did some tracks for Jay-Z's album, and people like, yo, you're a great producer. But then he was like, yo, I rap too. And people was like, really? Like, you rap? All right, come on, you producer, rapper, whatever, man. Now you want to rap. Why don't you just be a producer? Like, you're producing for fucking Jay-Z. He's the biggest guy in the game. Why you got to go and do extra? But he said, no, he had a vision. It wasn't his sight, it was his vision. Like, yo, I can do this. I can rap. And there was a point, not that year, but a couple years later, there was a point where people was like, yo, Kanye the best rapper. It was like in between the Jay-Z and then 50 and Wayne and before Drake, there was a period where people was like, yo, Kanye is the best rapper. He was producing and he was rapping. He was the best rapper. And we're not here to argue about that. But what I'm saying is there was a point that he brought that vision to life, and everybody, I mean, the vision is still to life. People may not call him the best rapper no more, but people respect the fact that he can rap. He put out a rap right now, people gonna listen to it because they're like, yo, Kanye put out a rap. You know what I'm saying? He was bigger than just being a producer. He wasn't gonna stay in that box. So the point of everything that I'm saying here is I'm just using those guys, Steve Jobs, Kanye, even myself as an example. Your vision is gonna be something that most people don't see. They don't connect with it. And if they gave you advice, they're going to tell you this is a bad idea. Don't do this. Go do something else. Do something that's more safe. It just doesn't make sense. There are people who are going to tell you that when you have that idea that seems crazy. It may not be crazy to you, of course, but it's going to be crazy to a whole bunch of other people. And that's when you know you got a vision, when it's crazy to people. If everybody agrees, then you got a plan. You got a strategy. Vision is something that people can't see. And that's why it's a vision. So hopefully for somebody out there who needed this message right now, maybe you'll need this message in the future. So, save it, download it, whatever you got to do, bookmark it, so that when you get to that point, because you will come to this point if you have something that's a real vision, you can watch this video again. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com. Nobody out there needs more information. What you need these days is a strategy, frameworks, processes, how to actually take all the information that's out there, all the knowledge and content that's out there, make sense of it, and actually produce a result, a tangible result. That's why I created the Game Group. It is my membership site where you will get tangible results for specific areas: business, personal development, basketball skill, and professional basketball. Choose your area of focus, and we have targeted, specified outcomes every single month, along with live trainings, the ability to contact me, have your work critiqued by me, and a whole lot of other stuff. The link and all the information is down in the description at DreAllDay.com/membership. Get in the Game Group if you're ready to get some results and not just a whole bunch of information. Let's do it. Work on your game.